Basically, this video is a response to a very hateful video that was made about me by the YouTuber Chrispy. But on the 20th of January, someone reposted this video onto the subreddit r/cringe. So this video started getting a lot of hate. At that point, I had already wrote a whole script and filmed my video and was ready to edit it. But then that video got taken down. I was obviously disappointed because I wanted to make a response. So I messaged Chrispy and I asked them to re-upload the video or just send it to me so that I could make a response. And they actually agreed to re-upload it, but they didn't have the video saved, so they just decided to re-edit it. So it's not exactly the same as it was when they originally posted it, but it's up and you can go watch it. They also apologized to me for the very mean things that they said about me in the video, and I also found out that they go by they them pronouns. So very recently, a cool kid sent me this video made by Chrispy, who is very obviously a brony. Like, he's what I imagine a brony to look like. Chrispy was one of the bronies that felt really insulted by my video. So insulted that he felt the need to make a whole 15-minute video about it. Anyways, let's just watch the video.
I saw a video recently. A video with fallacies in logic, a video of outright lies, a video full of generalizations, and a video packed with hyperbolic statements. I wish to speak to you today about that video.
Jesus, he's making it seem like I was spreading political propaganda. Right off the bat, you can definitely tell he already took my video far too seriously.
This video was merely a whiny, disingenuous attack on this community, trying to come across as some sort of PSA for children's safety on the internet.
PSA for children's safety on the internet? You gotta be kidding me, bro. It wasn't a PSA. It wasn't meant to be an attack. It wasn't even a serious video. And I acknowledge that it may have seemed like an attack, which I apologize for, but that really wasn't the intention here. That's essentially all I was trying to say, and this man really took it too close to heart.
Is it morally questionable for me, a 20-year-old man, to make a critical response video to a 14-year-old's unknowledgeable ramblings? Maybe, if that was just the case, but once you start to blame us for your mistakes, once you start to go against your own statements in the video, in comment responses, once you refuse to admit that your parents failed in protecting you, and once you make very key points into contradictions within 2 minutes, I think it's fair game at that point, no matter how old you are.
I'm not really gonna say anything about these claims right now because he's gonna elaborate on them further in the video and I'll respond to them there, but I just wanted to show that he is a 20-year-old man.
This fandom began as a safe space for grown dudes to sit down and talk about the show. We didn't invade a pre-existing community. We started this bitch, man. We didn't invade a pre-existing fandom for our own needs. Come on.
True, you didn't invade a community, but who said it was a community? Who said it was a fandom? Bronies are definitely a community, but a safe space isn't a community. A community can be your safe space, but a safe space can be a lot of things. The target demographic for My Little Pony was little girls, so a lot of little girls grew up watching this show. And to millions of little girls, this show became a safe space for them. Also, you say we started this? Bro, literally the whole reason My Little Pony exists is to sell toys to little children. You didn't start anything. I understand that the brony community is probably a safe space for you, and that's why you feel the need to attack a little teenage girl over it.
The comments are trash, too. Worm74 says here, the way grown men were excited to show little girls gore. Which, no. Just no, none of that was meant for you. None of which have any malicious intent. We aren't excited to show you gore.
Are bronies like a hive mind or something? Do you guys know all of each other's thoughts and intentions? If not, how do you know? Are you the spokesman for all bronies ever? I understand you're trying to defend your community, but you don't know every single brony.
But to generalize this much right off the bat, with no evidence other than, oh, boo-hoo, Pinkie Pie decapitation, come the fuck on.
You watched my video. I literally had a whole other section dedicated to the over-sexualization of My Little Pony, but you just chose to gloss over that. I wonder why. I hope we can relive our traumas together.
Trauma? You don't know what the fuck trauma is. Take it from someone who actually has childhood trauma from abuse and sexual abuse and all sorts of fucking abuse from his own fucking father. Take it from someone who has trauma. That shit sticks with you. You think about it every single night before you go to bed. You wake up and the first thing you think about is your trauma. You cannot live a normal life. You did not get fucking traumatized from an animation on YouTube.com when you were 7. That is not how trauma works.
I hit a nerve there. Jesus Christ.
When you have trauma, no matter how serious or mild, you never want to relive that shit. If you were genuinely traumatized, you wouldn't want to relive it. You wouldn't be making this video because you couldn't be able to stomach watching those videos again. You're not traumatized. You had a childhood fear.
I can't even begin to express just how stupid this point is. I genuinely think he just nitpicked on this. He wanted to make his anger towards me seem more justifiable, so he decided to go with the "how dare you say you were traumatized? I was traumatized, so you're big and sensitive and I'm allowed to swear at you even though I'm a grown man." Obviously, this stuff didn't traumatize me. As he said, if it actually did, I wouldn't be making a video about it. You do realize it's a common saying, right? People use the word traumatized very commonly as a synonym to the words disturbed or scared. It's a common thing used by YouTubers especially because YouTubers like to over-exaggerate or over-dramatize quite often. And traumatized provides a deeper impact than the word scared. People like to say they're depressed when they're really just sad. People like to say they want to kill themselves when they experience an inconvenience. We like to dramatize our words. You really wouldn't have an issue with literally anyone else saying that they're traumatized. The only reason you're pretending to have an issue with it is because you feel like I'm attacking your community.
And to be completely honest and totally transparent, I'm not innocent of this scenario either. I made a video, if I had to remember correctly, 2 months ago, where I watched videos that traumatized me as a child.
There, he literally admitted it. He did the exact same thing just a few months back. Before I start discussing and reacting to the very traumatized stuff that a lot of bronies produce, I'd first like to mention that I'm in no way trying to generalize bronies. I know for a fact that there is a light and dark side to every fandom. So if you're a grown man who happens to harmlessly like My Little Pony, I have nothing against you. I honestly couldn't care less.
If that was the case, you would have made more effort. You wouldn't have titled this video in such a way.
Again, sir, do you not know how YouTube works? No wonder you have such little subscribers. Titles matter in determining if people click on my videos or not. The whole reason you clicked on this video was because the title intrigued you. Alright, let's play a game where I name my videos accurately, and we'll see if they're better. Some bronies kinda scared me as a kid. Encanto's fandom does some weird things sometimes. People really care about Hannah OO starting an OnlyFans for some reason. These accurate titles don't sound as eye-catching, at least not to me. But anyways, I already said what the intention of my video was, and it wasn't the end goal of protecting the youth. Where did you pull that out from? Your ass? You said I made bronies sound like supervillains. You're making me sound like a superhero, like I'm on a mission or something. My end goal is protecting the youth. Superhero Desiree on the way!
Why did you go back, download the video, edit it, and publish it? This isn't the only instance of this. You outright show a full clip of a much more intense, audible, and visual example later in this fucking video. Your editing choices are not lining up with your supposed intention.
My supposed intention? That you assumed that was wrong! Also, the clips I included weren't even that bad. I'm telling you, he's just nitpicking stuff. So I had to be like 4 to 6 years old at the time. So I was essentially a toddler who was still learning how to read. I just want you guys to keep that in mind moving forward.
You shouldn't have been unmonitored on YouTube. You shouldn't have been on YouTube or the internet at all. Call me a boomer, but at this point, the accountability isn't placed on us for making stuff like this. The blame is entirely on your parents. They should have done more for you, in protecting you, and they fucking failed you.
I never said that I was in support of kids as young as 4 being on the internet. I mean, I know from experience that that's not a good idea, and my parents definitely shouldn't have let me be on the internet. And after I posted that video, my mom actually came up to me and apologized to me. But don't outright sit there and claim that my parents failed me just because while they were working to provide for me, I happened to stumble across inappropriate content. It was my first time being faced with gore, and yes, there was a disclaimer at the beginning of the video, but I was like a little 4 or 5-year-old Kazakh girl. Do you think I could read disclaimers? No!
You disingenuous, dense motherfucker! Obviously you have to read warnings before you watch something really fucking ridiculous, or you couldn't blame the fandom!
You missed the part where I literally said that I am Kazakh, meaning I grew up speaking both Russian and English, and it's a lot harder to master one language when you know 2, especially when you're 6. And I knew how to read, but kids have a lower level of reading than adults. I didn't even know what the word disclaimer even meant. I didn't even know what a disclaimer was. You can go up to literally any 6-year-old, and chances are they won't care for disclaimers either. I'll prove it to you actually. My little sister is 7 years old, and I'm gonna show her a video and put a disclaimer at the start, and we'll see if she reads it or not. Can you read the first word?
Disclaimer.
Do you know what it means?
No.
Is that enough proof for you? Do you understand how children work now?
You can't consciously ignore a very clear, obvious warning, and then years later blame the fandom or its creator for what you witnessed. You lost that privilege when you continued watching.
I like how he says consciously ignore, as if I, as a 6-year-old girl, sat there and read the disclaimer, understood it, and continued to watch it anyways. You're holding little kids to a very high standard. If you're gonna make them kill each other, please make it clear to the audience that this animation about cartoon horses for kids isn't actually made for kids.
They did! They fucking did! They put every ounce of effort into giving you a full-blown visual disclaimer. You disingenuous, dense motherfucker, you chose to ignore them. Later, you come crawling back and blaming us for your bullshittery, your piss shittery, and your fuck shittery.
Aight, bro, you need to calm down. You're forgetting that you're talking to a teenager. To a teenager who you don't know, who has a family, who has friends, who has a life, something you probably don't have. Also, stop saying 6-year-old me ignored a disclaimer when she didn't even know what a disclaimer was.
How can someone be so fucking moronic? Making a point 2 minutes ago and admitting you ignored every disclaimer, and then do a fucking 360 Tony Hawk kickflip backward, and then say put a disclaimer. You're a fucking moron. I was going to be careful for this video. This script I'm reading right now, I tried to edit it to be less insulting to you personally, but at this point I don't give a shit. You have directly given, I don't give a shit about your age. You're a fucking moron.
Let's go 360 Tony Hawk kickflip backwards. He's really trying to act like calling me, a 14-year-old girl, a
fucking moron,
is justified because I said kids are too dumb to read disclaimers. And they say women are the emotional ones. Jesus Christ. He's acting like I insulted his religion or something. This deep amount of hatred, it isn't okay. Where is it coming from, man? Like, I can't imagine being so overly sensitive. I don't know whether I should laugh my ass off or just find it really sad. Look how hurt I made him. My little silly video inflicted so much pain on this man. Or at the time, and for some reason on YouTube, ponies reproducing was a common sight, like a very common sight. You didn't even have to look for it. It would just appear in your face randomly.
No, it wasn't. It never fucking has been. Let's see, I was 11 in 2012, the first half of it anyway. Puberty was just starting to hit. Do you know how many incredibly specific search terms I had to use to find anything even remotely explicit on YouTube back then? Do you know how many fucking loopholes I had to jump through to find Fluttershy's butthole on this fucking site? Do you have any idea what you're talking about? Saying it was just on the homepage, easy to find. No, it fucking wasn't. Take it from someone who knew more about technology than you did at that time. It was not easy to find. You are actively lying in this fucking video. This man just admitted to being a degenerate. We caught him. You can't speak for me. I wasn't lying. I never lie in any of my videos unless it's like a dumb joke or something, but I was sharing the complete 100% honest truth. In conclusion, you're a fucking idiot. I mean, I know you're 14. I know teenagers are still learning and are in every way dumb as fucking rocks. You literally have no concept of maturity levels because you yourself have proven to have the maturity of a little stunted child who gets insulted and defensive when a little girl makes a video about ponies. You criticize 6-year-old me for not understanding a disclaimer, so don't sit here and claim you understand how children act. You have the platform that you have now. You're not cut out for it. For God's sake, you've made videos before and after this covering Borat. Watching fucking Borat. I'm not cut out for YouTube. Why? Because I said that bronies can be bad sometimes. You say I have no proof for my claims, yet you're throwing around claims like this. Obviously, this guy has never watched any one of my videos, except this one, and you can tell that because he can't even pronounce my name correctly. Zezray. And he uses the fact that I covered Borat to try and prove that I'm not deserving of a platform, which is like the dumbest claim ever. You're ignoring my videos that I've made spreading awareness about eating disorders and serious politics. I recently posted a video clearing up media manipulation about my country, and my country is Kazakhstan, which is why I, as a Kazakh person, talked about Borat. Because Borat is based on my nationality. And the video where I reacted to Borat was a fun video I specially made for my fans, for my 100,000 subscriber special, because they asked me to react to Borat. And if you actually watched my videos to determine whether or not I was worthy of a platform, you would have known that. But of course you didn't watch any of my videos. You were just upset that I insulted your fandom, so you cried about it for 15 minutes straight and ended your moaning by saying, I'm not cut out for YouTube.
YouTube. Also, I could say the same things about your videos. Like, what even is this? What is that? What even are they? Statistically speaking, I am definitely cut out for YouTube. I uploaded my first video in February last year, and it hasn't even been a full year, and I already have almost 130,000 subscribers. And generally, I get comments every day from people my age saying that they look up to me because I am a young girl who isn't afraid to speak up on my opinions, and people like me because of that, and they relate to me because I'm the same age as them, but I'm not afraid to speak up.
As I make this fucking video, you're responding to comments taking down every point you've made in a far more mature manner than I have. And you act like what you truly are, a child who knows nothing.
Who's the child who knows nothing?
You disingenuous, dense motherfucker!
You're trying to make me seem like an immature little girl when this whole video was the best example of a little man baby crying about the most irrelevant nonsense for 15 minutes straight. So don't be discouraged, especially not from people who literally have not been able to accomplish anything.
You're a disgrace to commentary channels as a whole.
And don't let hate get to you, because we can all see the types of sad people who spread hate. This was an amazing example of that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this like really long video. Thank you for the 100k silver play button, and I'll see you next time. Bye!